these flowers are butterflies, the colors of light you have never seen before. And you notice a little bench at the top of this garden. And you begin to make your way over to this bench. And you sit down and you look out at the beauty of this place. And as you do, you feel such peace in your soul. And in this beautiful place of peace and relaxation, I would now like for you to take part of your awareness and scan it down your physical body as it lays on the bed in a very detached way, almost as if the body belongs to someone else. And I want you to let me know as you pass your awareness down the body if you become aware of any pain or discomfort in the body, any anxiety or anger, or any feelings of dense energy that should not be there. Pass your awareness down the body, starting at the head, and let me know if you find anything.
I have some discomfort in my right shoulder, and I don't know, it's been kind of there on and off anyway. It's kind of an
Okay,
ache.
okay. Does this ache have a color that we could assign to it?
Kind of a gray-blue color.
A gray-blue color. Okay. And with that gray-blue, achy right shoulder feeling, care to say something? Let's move it to the throat. Let's bring it from the shoulder to the throat. And I'd like to ask that gray-blue, achy feeling if it has something you would like to share today.
I I I don't know what you want. I don't know why I'm here.
Okay. Who am I speaking with today?
I'm, I am Ned. I'm a sailor.
Ned. Nice to meet you today, Ned. How is that you came to be attached with Erin today?
I have been with her many lifetimes.
Oh. Why are you with her? Are you attracted to her for some reason?
We were together many lifetimes ago in Ireland. She
In
was my daughter.
Oh,
I did not want to leave her. I was concerned for her welfare.
why were you concerned for her welfare?
Well, because I had to leave while she was still young, and it was not a good place for a young woman to be on her own. And I did not have anything to leave her.
You did not have anything to leave her,
No,
meaning,
I had no home. We
mm,
were still wandering, and I did not have a stable place for her to live. Her mother was with her, but her mother was not. Her mother was sick all the time, and I was just concerned. But I died at sea.
okay. And when
It's
you died at sea, you decided to stay so that you could help her in this life?
I just wanted to be with her, just watch over her.
I see. That sounds very caring. The day that you passed and died at sea, did you see a bright light, or did you choose to stay instead of moving on?
I,
Do you remember making a choice?
think I saw it, but I was only thinking of my daughter.
Hmm. And how has she felt you in her life since that time?
I just I stay with her when she is when she is cold, when she aches sometimes, and I feel that ache in my own bones from the sea, from the cold water. She died in the sea in that lifetime too.
Oh, she did.
She did, and we were together then, and she saw me, but she
Mm.
chose to go on, and so I followed her. And but we were very cold. The water was so cold, and she was cold, and she aches still sometimes. Those memories come in her body, and when those memories come, I'm there again.
Mm. So, in that time, in that lifetime, you were with her so she wouldn't be afraid and lonely?
I hoped. I did not know if she was aware of me, but I did not know how to go anywhere else. So I
Mm.
thought I would watch over her.
Since you are still with her, is there something you would like to say to her now as Erin in this new life?
Huh. I appreciate that her mother named her Erin,
Oh, how
because
so?
Ireland, it's our home.
Mm.
It's the name of Ireland, Erin, and
Oh,
it brought me more closer. It brought me closer to her. And sometimes she is aware of me, but she does not know what it is she feels.
ah, I understand. Okay.
And
Mm.
I think you had a question, but I don't remember what you asked me.
Oh, I was just wondering if you had anything you'd like to say to her in this life as Erin. I think it's time to move on. She's a strong, beautiful woman in this life, and though you were appreciated, it can be time to move on.
Yes, I see that. I just don't know how.
That's okay. You don't have to be trapped here anymore. Remember when you would have died and there was a light? Do you remember a light? And the choice you could have gone to it.
Yes, I see it above me on the ship. I see it up in the sails.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, we're going to help you cross over to the light today, Ned, and you will be able to meet up with any other loved ones who have already crossed over. You will also be able to reincarnate back into another body if you wish, and come back here again if that is what you want to do. And the people will be able to see you and touch you. The white light is always there to call you when you leave your body in this realm. It is there to call you back home. If we'll.
I see Mother Mary.
Oh, you see Mother Mary. Is she
Oh,
there? Is she there to help you cross, or does she have a message for you?
oh, she's holding out her arms to me.
Oh, go to her.
I loved her when I was a little boy. Loved her.
Mm. And she is there to help you.
Yes,
Can you go to Mary now?
yes.
Can you follow her to the white light?
I see my family. I see my brother, my own mother,
That is great. That
my
is
sister.
wonderful. Erin, if you're aware of Ned being in your life, was there something you would like to say before he crosses over with Mother Mary to the light?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Papa, for watching over me. I know that you were just wanted to take care of me. And I'm happy to see you go. I'm happy to, I feel Mother Mary too. I see her, I feel her.
Yes.
I'm happy you can go to her.
What a beautiful guide to be taken to the other side. So I want you to pull all of your energy out of Ned. I want you to pull all of your energy out of Erin at this time as you pass into that white light with Mother Mary. And Erin, I want you to feel and see all of Ned's gray-blue color of that dark ocean water pass out of her and being pulled back to the place of light. Seeing all of that energy being pulled out of every place where it is attached to you. See it leaving you now. And we could say goodbye to Ned. We
Yeah,
will
he's
leave.
gone. He's long gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, how wonderful. Mother Mary is always good.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, Now I'd like to have your higher self come in and scan your body. Ah, I can feel your peace. May we ask your higher self to come through to scan the body to see if there's any other entities or attachments we should connect with today.
Yes, there is one with Erin, but today is not the right day to deal with that.
Okay, and so it is. We shall leave that connection for another time. I would like to ask if we could fill the places in the gaps where Ned's energy had permeated Erin's field, so there be no gaps for further entrance.
Yes.
Is there a color that you could place in those gaps?
A bright sky blue or the
Beautiful,
gold of the sun.
beautiful. And then let's add some white light to enter all of the energy fields and close up those gaps where Ned, the sailor, the father, was attached. Can the higher self do this and ensure that the white light fills and seals all the gaps of where Ned's energy was?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're feeling her heart also because she's feeling the loss of Ned. She didn't realize that it was how much it was there for her till it's gone. So we're feeling that place in her heart with a warm pink light.
A warm pink light, that's wonderful. And will she have any more aching in that shoulder, or can she release that pain?
It comes and goes from other things, but there's a certain way that it aches sometimes that will be gone.
Okay, all right. Can I have you check Erin's auric field to make sure it is now protected and sealed and that there's no other gaps for further entities to attach? Can you confirm this?
Looks good, except there's a small space at the back of the upper part of her skull. So we will close that. We're filling it with light. It's kind of a silver white light.
Okay, yes,
Filling and closing, and it's complete.
wonderful. Okay. Are there any other cords that should be cut that Erin is attached to?
None that should be going.
Okay, wonderful, great. Okay. I'd like to bring your awareness back to that beautiful bench in the garden. If we could return to the bench with those beautiful flowers in the place of solitude. I want you to become aware of yourself as a multidimensional being, that you are not just this being in this lifetime we are living right now, that you are many different beings in many different lifetimes, having many different experiences. So now, as we sit on this bench, in this place of beauty and solitude, I want you to focus on your breathing And as you breathe in, I want you to see golden flecks of quantum light entering your lungs. And as these golden flecks of quantum light enter the lungs, they can then travel to every cell in your body. And this golden quantum light begins to awaken and fire up the DNA in every cell of your body. You see your whole body begin to glow with this golden quantum light. And as it does, you begin the process of connecting to all the parts of your multidimensional self within the quantum field. I want you to visualize your multidimensional self as a tree, a beautiful golden tree that runs through the very fabric of the universe. And if we think of ourselves in this lifetime that we are leading now as a twig on the branch of that golden tree, and this tree is our soul, the fullness of your soul that runs through time and space and the entire universe. And each twig on your golden soul tree represents a lifetime that you are living now in another time, another place. We have connected to our multidimensional self in the quantum field through breathing in the golden quantum flakes of light and waking up our DNA. We are now going to travel through time and space to another part of our multidimensional self that is having another experience somewhere else right now, to another twig on our soul tree, another lifetime that we need to see today that will help us to make sense of this lifetime that we are in now. In a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. And as I count backwards from 3 to 1, I want you to feel yourself being pulled through time and space as if by a magnet to another lifetime on your soul tree that we need to see today. As I count backwards from 3 to 1, you will be there. 3, traveling through time and space, through our soul branch, and looking for the most suitable lifetime to visit today. 2, almost there now. And 1, be there now. Tell me what you see or experience.
I'm seeing bees.
Bees. Okay.
Bees. Bees. Swarming bees are swarming around me. They're my bees.
They're your bees, so you're not afraid of them.
No,
You're
my
connected to them.
they're my bees. I heal with my bees.
Oh, how do you heal with the bees? What does that
They
mean?
they serve me on many levels. I use them in many ways. They work with me, and of course their honey is a healing substance, but they also heal through their stings. They heal through the sound of the drones of all the bees
Ah,
swarming.
mhm.
They heal through their movements. They're multidimensional creatures, and they are part of me, an aspect of me. My bees are almost as if they are part of my aura.
Oh, okay. So they are around you. making sound and offering you their service just by being bees, being in your space.
Yes. They they have a hive. They have a place that they go into, but they come out when I signal them with my sounds. They come to me and they swarm around me, and we go out to serve the people.
And what is the sound you make that they come to you?
I do do sip do this sip do. That is part of what I sound to them.
How beautiful. It sounds like a song you sing, like a siren would sing a song. Mm,
It's a song and a language, and it's their language too.
wonderful. Okay. Can you tell me about the body that you're in, that they spend their time with?
I'm a woman. I'm of a part of a tribe, a very, what you would say, an ancient tribe
Okay.
in what would you would call the British Isles. I believe I am what you would have called a Pict.
A
I'm
Pict.
very, very small. I'm a very small woman, but I live with the earth. I'm very deeply connected to the earth and the rhythms of the earth, the sounds of the earth. And I was chosen from when I was a very small child. The seer in our tribe recognized that I was there for the bees, that I was to be a vehicle for their magic, for their healing power. And so ever since I was very small, I have been with the bees.
Oh, okay. Are there other creatures that you work with, or is it primarily bees?
No, the bees are the main creatures. I have the ability, I am able to speak to all animals and insects, birds. I, I'm able to communicate with them all,
Okay.
but the bees are, they're a part of me. They're sort of almost as an appendage,
Ah,
though they move around me, and and there's a way that we commune through a kind of sacred geometry. So
oh,
other people can't see that that's what the bees are doing, but I can see it, I can read it, and I can send them images of geometry, and they can form those around the people that they are healing.
okay. So, for example, if someone was sick, you might call them in to help with the sacred geometry around someone's healing?
Yes, they
Oh,
with the sound, with their sound and the geometry of the way they move.
and who taught you how to do this? Or was there a knowing when you came into this life and were chosen?
I I am part of a lineage of this, and so it's somewhat in my cellular memory, my DNA. But I also was also schooled when I was younger. I didn't have full ability to work with it. So there's a woman in the tribe that had done this in her earlier years that helped pass on to me some of the processes for how to do this and help me to remember them.
So, was this elder a family member or just another woman in the tribe?
There there is a lineage, but it's not necessarily a birth lineage.
Okay.
She was not she's not um, connected to me directly through DNA, but there's a soul level at which we are connected, and there's a lineage through our souls It's difficult to explain it in your language.
Okay. Tell me more about the sacred geometry and how people might use you and the bees to live a better life or be healthy.
Well, this this knowledge, it does not work in the world as you know it at this time.
Mm.
But I see that you are moving towards a place. You're moving up higher in vibration, at which level the bees can work again in that way. In the time that I was alive, things were still at a higher level of understanding and knowledge and awareness.
Okay.
And so you'll be returning back to that. And I see, I have the ability to see ahead, and I see that you will take it to the next level, even beyond where we had it at.
So this was not a third dimensional British Isles. This was some time ago in an ancient world where you still were more primarily light body, or was it a
No, it
blend?
was sort of a higher fourth dimensional level. You
Okay.
you will be going into the fifth
Hmm.
level.
Wonderful. And the remembrance of working with animals, plants, and creatures of all kinds will come back to us, like the
Yeah.
knowledge you had then.
Yes, you will have the ability to be telepathic and in communion
Mm.
with all of them, and including the plants, anything that is organic. Well, including, if you wish, you can commune with all of the elements, with the mineral kingdom and the water and the fire and the air. You'll have ability with all of those things.
That is good to hear. So many people are afraid of bees in this lifetime, in this dimension. So it'd be nice to be back on
Well,
family level with them.
well, that was something that you were manipulated into feeling, because bees are very sacred. Bees have very high level of healing ability, and the honey that they create is very healing.
Hmm.
But that was taken, as many things have been hijacked,
Mm.
and just people have been distracted from and programmed with the wrong idea, and they don't, so that knowledge has been lost. Those experiences have been lost.
Where did you keep the records of the types of work that you did that we could have access to that again? Is there some record keeping
No,
or?
we have no physical. Then all of those things were held in memory and were an oral tradition that was passed on. For a while, the people themselves were able to pass on their history, certainly.
Mhm.
The higher knowledge was maintained within the lineage of the practitioners, of the healers and the seers, and the wise people in those tribes.
Hmm.
But it has been lost on that level. However, it is in the DNA of Erin, has it within her DNA, and there are other people who had that in their lineage, in their incarnational lineage, in their DNA. So
Hmm.
it will be remembered.
I see. So did no one survive from this time? Are we on Earth at this time? Is this
Yes,
our planet?
this was in the, as I was saying, it was what you today would call the British Isles, is
Hmm.
where my tribe's people were. And yeah, there was much chaos and bloodshed and wars happening, and yes, it was because the darker forces had come onto the planet and were moving across the land and destroying the higher knowledge, so that they could have power and control.
Mm. Right, okay.
And it's happened at various times in history.
Yes. In this life, can you tell me how you'd spend your time? Give me a day in a life of an important day where you're working with the bees and you're doing your job, just doing a day-to-day normal life day. What are you doing?
Mm, well, I would wake up in the morning, and I actually live in nature. I don't live in a dwelling. I live according to the weather. I have a place that's within inside of the earth. That's a like a cave dwelling that I'm in. I also have places in the forest where I'm
Mm.
by the water, or I'm outside under the stars, depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing. But when I get up in the morning, I simply commune. I get up before the sun. I watch the sun come up, and I say my prayers of an acknowledgement to the Creator, the highest Creator, and I connect with the earth, with the Mother, and
Mm.
acknowledge her, and I feel her vibration, and I sing.
Mm.
I sing to the Creator, and I sing to the Mother,
How
and I
beautiful.
I I have some little bit of something to drink, water or tea from fresh herbs, and I bless the food and the water that goes into my body, and I stretch my body and try to maintain my body. My body is a temple,
Mm.
and when I'm ready, then I call my bees, and my bees come to me, and we go forth into the day according to, sometimes I receive psychic calls. Sometimes people come to me. They try to find me. They don't always know where I am. So
Mm.
that's sometimes I get it. If I want to be in my own sacred private space, there are people that know how to call me on a higher level of awareness, and I can go to those people.
So
And
not everyone can communicate telepathically, just certain members of the tribe?
yeah, we are moving into a time when there is more of the spoken language,
Mm.
and it has become somewhat of a distraction
Mhm.
from the telepathic abilities. Everybody does have some degree of it, but there
Mhm.
are there are those who have maintained it in a stronger way
Okay.
because they were trained that way from when they were young.
Do you live alone out in nature? Are you solitary?
Yes.
Do you
Oh, I'm
pref
not I'm not alone. I'm with all the living creatures, but
mm.
I don't have a human partner or companion.
Is that by choice?
This is by choice.
Okay. And when they do call you out for help with the bees, and you've sung your song and the bees have come to you, how do you be of service?
Hmm. I be of service.
Mm.
I uh, we we sort of appear on the site as as this cloud of living energy, the hum of the bees and the energy of my fields that I carry the bees in, and so there are people that see us as some sort of um, almost godlike, goddess-like emanation, but it's simply the way we look energetically, and we sound the sound of the swarm. So we come in, and but what it helps those people align with their own um, sacred sense of themselves, and
Ah.
they come into the center, and we emanate that energy that helps them center themselves. And then I I scan, the bees scan, we scan their field, we see what is needed
Mm-hmm.
and address it in whatever way. There's many ways. I can do laying on of hands, and the bees will follow my movements. I use my voice, I use my own sound,
Mm-hmm.
and the bees will move around accordingly. They're forming geometry, but it's subtle. It's not something that other people are aware of. Every now and then somebody, I can tell that they can see what the bees are doing,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, the people are not aware. The bees are moving in and out. Sometimes I bring honeycomb with me because the honey itself is restorative. It's
Yes.
very, very good for any ailments of the skin. It's good for arthritis. It's good for many things. So I gift them with pieces of honeycomb, and the bees gift them. The bees swarm around them, and the bees give them kisses. They love
Hmm.
kisses.
Nothing to be afraid of, just love. They
No,
have love to
no,
offer.
it's pure, pure love.
Oh.
There's no fear in my tribe of the bees, but partly that's because they see how I am with the bees.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no fear that has come in, and with the bees have the stingers, but those stings are only to ward off anything else. The bees did not always have those.
Oh.
There was a time when there was enough harmony, way before my time. There was harmony in everything, and that was not necessary. There were no stinging insects. There were no
Oh.
biting anything, or, because that was something that
Mm-hmm.
manifested as we began to split a little bit, as we were moving more and more towards 3D, and it became much more manifest in 3D.
So the stingers evolved as a defense against something trying
Yes,
to hurt it or harm it.
yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's wonderful. Um, do people live to be a long old age? Do they have long lives in this community that you live in?
Yes, in my time we still did. There was somewhat evidence I could begin to see that there was not as much resilience because there were these darker forces that were moving closer to us, and we would hear stories of other people in bad situations. When I was in the prime of my life, this was just beginning,
Hmm.
and we were able, some of us were able, within our community of healers and seers, we could see that something was coming that that made us anxious. We did not see any way to stop it. It felt like something that had to unfold, but
Mm.
it wasn't only just beginning on the fringes of my reality at the time I was in my prime.
And when you say these dark forces were coming, were they other humans from other places on the planet, or was this an energy coming in from somewhere else?
They were humans, but they were humans who were affected, controlled on some level by other energetic forces that were very negative.
Okay. And when they came to your tribe, were you alive when they shifted the energy of your tribe, or did you somehow live a life navigating around them? Did they come in and interrupt the life that you lived?
As I became very old, they were definitely very close. They did not ever um, come into my tribe, my personal, our village, but
Mm.
they were coming much closer, and I was very sad that I was not able to somehow help protect the people. But it was, again, we saw that this was in the future. It was just part of somehow the destiny of a learning process that had to happen.
Right, right. Let's travel to another day in this life. Sounds like it was a peaceful life working with your bees, being of service, yes.
Mm.
And when we come to the close of this life, it was not, of course, due to dark forces, and you were a very old woman in this life. Can you tell me about the passing of this person?
Mm. I'm lying there by the fire, and there were all these people around me, all my beloved community. I have no immediate family, but the community has turned out to say farewell, and right around me are the others in my community of healers
Hmm.
that have different roles. and different ways of teaching and guiding. And then there are the people that I've healed that have
Mm.
come to say goodbye to me. And there's very, very much love there. And there are some tears, but they're not tears of that. There are tears more to do with of another person of my stature because as I said, there are negative energies moving in.
Mm-hmm.
But there are tears of joy because they still are able to they still know that there is no death,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that I am releasing from an old and very tired body,
Mm-hmm.
and that I am able to go on, and I have a choice. I have a choice of where I will go next.
So, did you choose the passing and the time and day? Did you have control over making that decision?
Yes, I did. Yes, I'm very old, and at this time there's enough density that has moved in that I have not been able to keep my body as youthful as some of my predecessors were able to. But so I am tired. I'm pretty old. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm well over 100 years old.
Ah,
But I'm tired. And I could have maintained longer, but I feel that I can help my people from the other side.
yes. Did
That I
did you train another person to take over the bees work?
Yes, I was going to say that my follow the person following me is right there. She's right near behind me. She's holding my hand
Mm.
and looking at me with her bright eyes. She is a lovely being. I'm a little concerned for her welfare because
Hmm.
she's chosen a very difficult time to try to continue
Yes,
this work.
yes. But it's a gift to continue that knowledge and let her be on her path.
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything about this last day that you'd like to share a little bit more of?
Mm, just the feeling. I want so much for you, your people on the world at this time to reclaim that experience, that true, deep experience of communion with the earth, with the animals, with all the life on the earth, and with each other, that communion and connection, and that feeling of unity, of true unity.
Mm. Yes. Sounds like you were a wonderful part of that. Thank you. And now let's go ahead and leave that part of ourselves there to continue on their journey. We're going to leave them there as they already have found peace in their transition. They will find what they need to find, and we're going to leave them there. And now we're going to drift and float once more back through time and space to another important lifetime that we need to see today. As I count backwards from 3 to 1, you will find yourself in another important lifetime. 3, traveling through time and space, back and back and back to another important lifetime. 2, almost there. 1, be there now. Allow yourself to integrate. Allow the images to drift up from your soul and gently into your mind. Tell me what you see or are experiencing.
I'm a priestess of Isis.
Ah, And how do you know that you are a priestess of Isis in particular? How do you know that?
I just know that's what I am. I hear it, I feel it. I am
Ooh.
in the temple. I'm in her temple. I'm holding some object. I'm holding, what am I holding? I'm holding an ankh,
Ah,
that large white, it appears almost to be carved of bone or something. It's some white, or maybe alabaster,
okay.
white. It's cool, white, heavy, smooth, beautifully carved. It was not carved by chisel, by hand, was carved with a technology
Mm.
using using sound and water.
Aha.
I'm in this strange between place because I'm I'm Erin, but I'm this priestess. I'm feeling it, I'm seeing it, but I'm not fully in her.
Okay. So let's take a minute and just take another deep breath into your heart space so you're able to connect deeper into this priestess. Let Erin's mind fade away, connecting with your heart, holding that beautiful white, smooth ankh, focusing on the priestess within. What do you notice now?
Mm. I'm sitting on some kind of it's like a throne, but it's just stone. It's not literally a throne, but I'm sitting on it. It feels almost as if it is a throne, and I have the ankh in my lap, and I'm looking out into the temple, and I'm watching other, watching the initiates coming in,
Mm.
watching the initiates coming in, and I'm observing them. And I am not initiating this group. I am there observing and helping with some of the ritual,
Okay.
helping place certain objects and lighting, working with the elements. I'm lighting the fires in certain places and
Mhm.
pouring the libations and fanning. I have I think it's the wing. It's a wing of some kind of large bird that is a fan.
Okay. So are you more of an elder in this position? You've done this before and now you're assisting those after you?
I think that no, I think that I'm at a mid-level and I'm assisting the ritual, and the next level I will graduate to, I will be performing the initiation. Right
Ah,
now I'm simply assisting.
okay.
Ha, I have done this many lifetimes though. The part of me does remember it, and sometimes I am chastised because I am too sure of myself, and sometimes I speak out, and I sometimes I am even I'm even a little bit bossy to my elders, which they do not appreciate.
No,
But
no.
I I had been this before. There is one priest. He's an elder priest, and he knows who I am. But he
Mm-hmm.
tells me that be I have to hold that within me and not say those things because these people, it is sad because this is again a time that some of this ancient knowledge is fast becoming lost.
Yes.
So these people that are supposed to be my teachers, my initiators, are not as aware as he is or I am.
Hmm.
But I am here to stabilize as much as I can, to stabilize this system of teaching and initiating. But it feels sometimes, even to me, that it's a lost cause.
So you came in with an awareness of this knowledge even before, as this priestess. You came in knowing this was coming.
Well, yes, but it was not in my immediate awareness until I began studying
Mm.
when I was 10 years old because I was precocious and they brought me in early and began to show me things. But I would, I knew what they were telling me and I would start to tell them, and they did not like that. So
No.
I have been I have been punished a few times and told to go back into my corner and be
Hmm.
quiet, which is very difficult sometimes for me to do.
Yes. What what were some of the things they had you study to be in this life as this priestess initiating others coming through? What were some of the things you studied?
Oh, they were having, we study many things. I would study the cycles of the stars in the sky and the cycles of the the seasons. We don't have seasons here as much as in other places, and nevertheless, there are the different moon phases and the waxing and waning and the pulling of the tides. And I've studied these things on a much higher level that is difficult to describe to you, that
Hmm.
has to do the with the energetics of how those things work. And I learned, I work with the elements, which Erin in her many carnations, the elements have been a very
Hmm.
strong source for her, and she is just actually recently understanding, because this is a repeated pieces of information coming to her in many of these lifetimes, that she understood and had relationships with all of the elements and understood how to work with them. She never used them, she never controlled them, she bonded with them and worked in unity with them. So
Hmm.
that was something that she was, that these teachers were attempting to teach her, but which she taught them a few things about. But this lifetime, this lifetime is about patience.
Yes. What were some of the elements she liked the most? What gave her great joy? What did she study and work with that was joyful? As that young 10-year-old, as that young woman coming into her own knowledge.
Oh, as a 10-year-old, she wanted to be with the big cats. She wanted to be with the big cats. She is from that star system.
Ooh, which star system is that?
Her soul is from the Lyra,
Oh,
where
yes.
the big cat beings
Mm.
are. When she went on, and there are many aspects of her soul that have embodied in other galactic um, incarnations. But
Hmm.
the big cats are always very important for her. And as this little girl, there were big cats that were kept in the royal compound, that and some of the priests worked with the big cats, and she knew exactly how to speak with them and to
Hmm.
lie down on the floor with them and play with them, and they would treat her. There was a mother big cat who mothered her, and there were cubs that she would play with, and that was her joy
How wonderful.
when she didn't get caught doing it.
Oh, she wasn't allowed, of course, yes. And the cats, the big cats in this case, are we talking lions or small house pets or what kind of
They they
cats?
they were they there are were big cats that were brought into Egypt from farther down in the country from where the jungles were, the savannas. That there were traveling, uh, which you would call merchants that would bring different
Mm,
kinds of exotic things. So there were lions, there were s- smaller forms of big cats. There were
mm-hmm.
a few leopards, a few cheetahs that
Okay.
came through the country.
Hmm. And were they considered dangerous or were they
They
friendly towards humans?
There were a few that were trained to, from time they were small cubs, to be with humans, with human companions as protectors. There were
Mm-hmm.
a few big cats that were being trained to work with what was the army at this time, because this was a lower level of Egypt. In
Mm-hmm.
in her past, as in other priestesses' lifetimes, which she was a few times at least, there was not that element yet in this lifetime
Hmm.
brought in for also negative um, existence. But however, the cats were not easy to train this way,
Okay.
because cats do what they want to do.
Yes, they do.
So
So,
unless they were very, very loyal to
mm,
the person that trained them that way.
hmm, so this was a lower level um, community or time, but there was also technology that sounds quite interesting. That there was sound and water technology. You said for the ankh that
Well,
you were
there was,
holding.
yes, there was ancient. The Ankh that I have is very old.
Mm.
It's from an earlier time.
Did this people have the technology to make such a tool, or was that older technology?
Not at this, yes, at this time
Mm.
it was already archaic, soon to be lost. The very old priest that knows who I am, he knows some of these things, but he does not teach them, because he does not feel that there are those that are able to handle it except for me.
Mm.
And he has taught me some things, but we have to be very careful with that.
Was he a part of your being able to stabilize their teaching? Was he giving you secret information, or why you?
No, I came in with that. What he was one person who was able to help me activate my memories.
Oh.
There are a few others. There's an older woman also that has been with me since I was very small. She is not she is an interesting woman, because she is kind of incognito. She has high training, but she was there with me as what would seem like a nursemaid to me from the time I was small, because she knew who I was. They both knew that I
Mm.
was coming in
Mm-hmm.
into
Okay.
embodiment. So
Okay.
she has been with me and stabilizing me and helping me, but where the others that were of a lower level of awareness did not know that that's what she was doing.
Ah. So incognito, so no one would know that she was doing this. Hmm.
Because they are not at the level that they can be responsible with this knowledge.
Okay. So though you, yes?
In this lifetime, I will not live into a very old age, because there are dark things that are coming, and I am there to try to stabilize the field and stabilize even the pyramids. The pyramids were much more powerful at an earlier time, but many things have become destabilized and are not running well. So I will not make it past my 40th year, but I do what I can.
Mm-hmm. So you were there at a time where the power was lessening, the pyramids were losing their power as well, and the darkness was coming. You knew the darkness was coming, or how did you
Yes,
perceive that to be? How did you notice that?
I knew it. Well, I partly because the elders told me that, but
Mm,
I also felt it. I had a lifetime as a priestess in very, very, very ancient Egypt. Egypt is much older than people believe it to be, and in that lifetime, I had the capacity to. Time is not linear, and I had
mm-hmm.
the capacity to see all before me and all ahead of me, all above me and all below me. And so, because that is in my incarnational DNA on my soul level, I had some access to that as this priestess at a later time. So I had the awareness of the cycles we're heading into, which is culminating right now on this planet as
Yes.
we will begin to return to a much higher level of understanding and awareness.
Hmm. Okay. And is there anyone from this lifetime, in this particular time, that is with you in this incarnation as Erin?
Anyone with me?
Anyone in this lifetime as this
Oh,
young priestess?
from this Egyptian
Mm-hmm.
lifetime
In this
with
Egyptian lifetime.
Erin now. Hmm.
You have so many
Wait,
teachers. I'm wondering who's made their way
uh,
with you along the way.
I don't, there were no teachers, but there
Mm.
was Erin's mother in this lifetime was there as one of her servants, as when Erin became a full-fledged priestess. There was a woman who cared for her, who loved her very much,
Mm.
and this woman had the capacity to train in some of these ways, but was she was, I would say, too humble.
Ah.
She was afraid, a little bit afraid of her power, her ability.
Mm-hmm.
So she only wished to serve.
Was she there the day that this woman became a full-fledged priestess? Can you tell us about what that would look like to be initiated as a priestess?
Oh, she was not in that space. That's a very sacred space
Mm. No
that
servants were allowed.
no
Mm-hmm.
servants, no.
Okay.
And there were just different initiations happening that can't be shared here, but different levels. She had already been through levels previous to this, and there are different levels of priestesshoods, and she went through 5 levels of that until she reached the highest level that she would live to see, which there was only one level beyond that. But
Mm.
yes, all those rituals were very, very sacred and not to be shared. But we will say that there was much, I want to say there was much light that would infuse into those places and into those people taking part in the initiations.
Mm.
Even at this level of more density, these people could still receive levels of light that would lift them higher, but then it was up to them to maintain that, which she did not find difficult to do, but some of the others did find difficult to not be distracted and taken away from that level.
How would one maintain that high level of vibration and light? What would need to be done to keep that level high?
Well, their daily practices, daily connections, daily alignments with
Mm.
with source and with it. We did a lot with the stars, with the planets, with
Hmm.
the um, the higher alignments, energetic alignments of those bodies up in the sky were very important for us. And we would follow what you would call the astrological patterns
Mm-hmm.
that were moving. And then our work, again, our work with the elements and with the earth herself, with the animals.
Okay. Hmm.
These lifetimes are being shown to you. This is Erin's high self speaking.
Oh, okay.
These lifetimes are being shown to you because you are at this time of massive transition and you are returning. Many of you are returning to those original times that she experienced before that in their purity, and then came back again and again to experience the transition into a darker and darker time. And she was reminding you what there was before and what
Mhm.
you are now graduating out of, that you can leave behind, that you do not have to choose to ever experience again unless you choose to go somewhere where you are serving others to
Mm.
graduate from that place.
So Erin is continuing her role as a teacher to many of us who are on the path of ascension, looking
Yes.
to have more light and raise their vibrations.
Mm,
Thank you. Thank you
mm,
for that.
yes.
So can we move to a day? Well, is there a moment in this priestess's life that we should see? Is there a moment that would be beneficial so that would help us understand more of her role?
No, we can close this lifetime.
Okay, thank you. Very enlightening. I appreciate that. Let's close this scene, close the scene, and move backwards again from 3 to 1. And as I count backwards from 3 to 1, let's travel through a tunnel of time, through time and space to another day, another lifetime that we need to view today. A lifetime with information pertinent to our intentions today. 3, traveling through time. 2, almost there. And 1, be there now. As you orientate yourself to this lifetime, tell me what you see.
I think I'm supposed to be done, but I feel that there is still someone, it may still be high self, there's someone that wants to speak.
Okay. If the higher self would like to come through, we can focus on Erin's higher self.
To sai in tao kumandi a undore ni nai to samate in takande umuto ni matisi. Alu mundo mariti ni amato mondariti na matate samo komata tata taishina makata. Ante kanu matakani ni matakata isa matakana inanda on mundo manikati ni matakisha matakata isa andan moto do lando moto. Misi on do laida, ai laida isha monga di sitai na yesi matato yito shuto shama. Urisnanaya beautiful ones, prepare yourselves. Much change is coming. Much is moving rapidly towards you. You think you have seen change, but you have no idea what is ahead of you. But it is beautiful. It is so beautiful. You must continually come back to your center, to hold the center of your being, and to stay in your heart, and to open your eye, your third eye, your eye that can see far, the far seeing parts of you. And you must stabilize. You must stabilize your families, your friends, the people out in the world who are lost and who are scrambling to try to understand. You must hold that beautiful knowing, that huge, huge awakening and awareness is coming our way. And remember, this message today for you was to remember the earth beneath your feet and how much she loves you, and that she is already ascending. She is already going up in her vibration, and she wants to take you with her. And all the animals and plants, the mountains, the seas, all of the beautiful aspects of this planet surround you. Please remember them. Return to them. And so it is. Ata atai shinama the komisita koma tore sinama ido mano misina ishe she 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 asa.
And so it is. Thank you. That's a beautiful message. Oh, so much healing that just came through with that transmission. Thank you so much. Is there any other message or any final message that Erin may need today? I think that was a beautiful message for all of humanity. Or are we complete?
We are complete. She is ready to come back to herself. And she's been a willing vessel for these transmissions. And she still gets impatient, but
Yes.
she is that these help her also. So thank you for giving her this opportunity today, Lori.
Thank you. I felt the Great Mother in that last transmission. It was deeply
Mm,
moving for me.
mm.
Thank you so much for coming through today and